So I'm just gonna go right here and say that if you like shooters at all, you're more than likely gonna like this one. I'm just gonna say it right now, all right? You can click off the video if you want, but if you don't want to click off right now, I do have some more stuff to say, um, talking about the game if you're not fully sure and you do like shooters or if you don't like shooters. So yeah, ULTRAKILL is a shooter, as I once said before, a movement shooter in specific, which is a shooter where you move a bunch. It's got some of the other well-known parts of this genre would be stuff like the new Doom games, like Doom in 2016 Eternal, um, Titanfall 2, um, among other games. Um, so yeah, so he plays a robot named V1, going through hell, and it's pretty badass. So yeah, I'm just gonna go right in and explain the gameplay features right ahead.
God never allows pain without a purpose! I'm disintegrating!
So yeah, the gameplay. Um, there's a thing which this game does differently than most other games, specifically when it comes to the movement shooter genre, and it's that it's first of all it's said in the very first few lines of the game. Mankind is dead, blood is fuel, hell is full. So it mainly explains the purpose of the game, but that second line is important. Blood is fuel because when you kill enemies, their blood soaks you. You you absorb their blood as health, which is pretty cool, and it makes me not want to play any other shooters that doesn't have this because at this point, health drops just seem too lazy at this point. You know, like you just see a thing on the ground, that's your health. No, I want my enemies to be my health boxes. Thank you. But yeah, there's some other cool things about this game, which such as the weapons. Now, the weapons is probably the most important part of a game apart from the enemies, which I will get to. Now, the guns in this game, the first weapon you get, sort of bad, not gonna lie, the piercer, which does get improved just by the end of the first layer of the game, which is in the form of the slab revolver. Won't get too much into that. If you don't want to be spoiled on the game. Now, there are variants to these weapons, which I'm going to go into right now. So there are every single weapon in the game. There's about 5 in total. Um, 5 weapons. They each have 3 variants each. Now the final ones of these variants actually came out just recently, like a couple of weeks ago. So the full arsenal is now available. Now, if I may have forgotten to say this, but the game isn't even finished right now. It's in early access. So let's go into what the pistol ones are because, well, that's the gun that's at the very beginning of the game. So you got your piercer, your marksman, and your sharpshooter. All of these are available by the end of the prelude, which is where all the footage is from. Which I'll get into more about that sort of stuff later. So, um, the layout. Not the layout. Why am I saying that? I was getting mixed up with maps. Yeah, you got the piercer. Now the piercer shoots bullets. Now that's what all the revolvers are. They all have the same stuff. But what matters is when you press right click, because when you left click, it shoots the pistol. But there's also another thing, right? You charge up the gun and it lets out a railgun. Railgun, like a rail blast. It shoots through multiple enemies, a piercing shot. Which is why it's called the piercer. So yeah. The next is the marksman. Well, the marksman is actually my favorite weapon in the entire game, and because of how badass it makes you look. So yeah, you may think at the beginning, hey, I'm pressing left click and this is the exact same. And that's because all the pistols are the same. But what really matters is when you press the right click. Because when you press the right click, that's a little coin. Now this coin, pretty cool. Because when you shoot the coin, it automatically locks on to the nearest target. Now, what really is cool is that when you get there's some other weapons in the game, right? Which also work with the coin. Basically, any hit scan weapon, there are some weapons that are hit scans, so projectiles. Now, what's really cool is that it works on them, but as well as that, you know what else works with the coin? enemy attacks. Now, there is a possibility that it might not actually been in the footage so far, but there is an enemy in it. The game called the Malicious Face. Now, this thing, it shoots out this beam of like this like explosive beam, sometimes as like a special attack. Now, the thing is, you can actually shoot that thing right back at it with the coin, which feels pretty cool. It's called a chargeback in the end. It's like on the style thing. I'll get into the style thing in a second. Now the sharpshooter is sort of similar to the piercer, but in a different way. This thing bounces. This thing goes bam, 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 bam. It's pretty cool and pretty useful in fighting Cerberus and stuff like that. If you don't know what the Cerberus looks like, you don't need to, because you'll learn when you play the game. As well as that, the style meter, as I said before, is the game's way of encouraging you for going for certain play styles. Because technically, if you really wanted to, you could just use the piercer for the entire thing, which is a weird way of doing it. But hey, it's possible. That's what a dude was just hated by the community did. Not gonna say the name. He who shall not be named and all that. Um. So yeah, style meter. If you play Devil May Cry, I think you know what a style meter is. You do things cool, you get extra points, and it goes up in number, starting from destructive, which is a D, all the way to the ultra kill, which is the U, which don't make full sense because then the U is below the D. So yeah, it goes classic tier list fashion. You go, D, C, B, A, S, 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 and then finally ultra kill, which is pretty cool because it makes my neurons activate. Because this game is considered autism, the game, even though I'm not autistic. So yeah, let's get on into the graphics.
To the camera, sir.
Yeah, talk to the
Yo,
news.
Batman better get out of my face before I kiss him on the lips.
Now, yeah, graphics do take it. It's based off those old boomer shooters from like the 90s. You know, your Dooms, your Quakes, all that sort of stuff. Your Turok, Dinosaur Hunter. It's not really that far back, but like, so yeah. Why am I not thinking of something to say? Oh yeah, let's talk about how the layers look. Now, all of the stuff that's shown in this, in the footage, I know I'm pointing it that way. It's actually that way. I'm stupid. But yeah, there's different layers in the game because it's based off Dante's Inferno, which is a book, but not a book, a poem by Dante Alighieri. I think I'm gonna mess it up, about him journeying through hell, which Ultrakill takes its hell is based off that from Dante's Inferno. So I'm losing my train of thought trying to think. So yeah, each layer is very different, which may be hard to notice because of the footage that's being shown right now. It's all very industrial, but that's because of the lore, which I'll get into in a bit. So yeah, each layer is beautiful. Just play the game, you'll know. My personal favorite layer is layer 7, the newest one out at the time of recording. There's still layer 8 and 9, which I'm very excited for when they do come out. The game is presumed to be coming out by the end of 2024, but it's very much possible to just wait, which I think would be, like, it's not, my guess is 2025, but like still, I'm still pretty excited for the full thing. But yeah, now I'm going to talk about the lore because the lore is pretty intense. Now this lore, I'm actually gonna go into the basics of it because spoilers, but like I'm gonna say right now spoilers. I might actually do another video on this, just on the lore itself because it's a pretty cool thing. So basically, mankind were in a war, the final war as it's called. They ended up making machines that ran on blood. Eventually, they ended up making a new machine which wasn't properly tested that could absorb the blood, which is V1, of course. They called it the Model V, I think, or something like that. And then over time, they were like, oh yeah, we need to stop this stuff. So they end the war. There's a bunch of machines, and then they end up in a time of peace and stuff. And then they end up discovering a portal to hell. And then they end up like starting to make their own way into it, which is why the prelude is actually so mechanical. You're not even fully in hell yet. And then of course you make your way in hell, the machines have sort of spread down there after humanity just sort of died out. It's not really known how, but it's believed that it's like something to do with opening hell, I think, or something, or the machines killing them. It's unknown, and then eventually you V1 have to make your way down there, of course, and then making your way through killing all the other stuff. Now there are some other things which I'll get to at a different point, in the next video, which I said I'll do. So yeah, let's come to conclusions. So yeah, this game's pretty good. If you like this video, if like you like the game, and stuff when you play it, you better subscribe, because I'll know if you watch this video and you bought the game. And if you already own the game, why are you watching this? This is a should you buy thing. Actually, I know why, because ULTRAKILL's players love hearing their game get praised. Hey, this is me while editing this video. If you want more ULTRAKILL content, you can actually check out my Twitch if you're watching this one. This video is just uploaded, where I'm currently doing a speed run of the game. I don't know how it'll take. I've tried it before. It took me like an hour, but I want to get a better time. So you go check that out. Bye bye.